George Carlin, a comedian, Red Dwarf, all those are things. Probably a Marxist somewhere deep down in his core, but he has a view on, the capitalist system of America is fantastic. It gives everybody the opportunity, like that hope of something better. For most, it may not materialize, but it is there. Um, And he has a lot of satirical quotes which are, we have multiplied our possessions but reduced our values. We talk too much, love too seldom, and hate too often. We've learned how to make a living but not a life. We've added years to life, not life to years. George Carlin. It is um, like I have an analogy of, life's a piece of string. I'm here, I have a piece of string. Um, and every experience I have, and I register that experience and add it to my memory banks or my who I am, I tie a knot in that string. Now, I may have 5 years, 10 years, 1,000 years, 100 years, um, but a piece of string for 100 years is this long. But a piece of string for 40 years can be once you get to the end and you die, you unravel that string. And if you've had an amazing life, it will feel a lot longer. Was the way I look at it. You know, Silence isn't empty; it's full of answers. Quite often, doing nothing is or taking something away, especially in work and management and other things, is actually sometimes the best solution. Uh, Silence will also drive people to provide answers, and also silence is a way of self-reflection that is important for yourself. So, it's only been what 60, 50, 55, 53 years or so since the 1960s when they started to actually campaign and petition for green spaces and urban environments. Before that, city planning, you know, in the 1960s and 70s, Tokyo was the largest metropolis in the entire world. And if you look at Tokyo, it reflects those planning rules and regulations that existed in that time. Um, the only man who never makes a mistake is the man who never does anything. Theodore Roosevelt. Absolutely, pretty much. I'd much rather make a million mistakes. What's it? The your tutor will always have made more mistakes than the student. Go out, get it done. The way you react and the way you respond to your mistakes demonstrates your maturity and your ability to problem solve. So yeah, a seed grows with no sound, but a tree falls with a huge noise. Destruction has noise, but creation is quiet. There is power in the silence. Grow silence, or grow silently. Confucius. Um, so yeah, it's a very very interesting kind of yes. Destruction does appear to you take a garden, you trim it back, you make it look beautiful, and yes, untamed growth and competition and everything else. There you have to have a balance, but the growth, personal growth, um, seldom happens in the light of other people. Yes, if you talk to give talks and other things or speeches, you will get better as you give speeches, but you're still going to be dealing with a situation where the the growth of your ability to give a speech is where you come back, you reflect, you basically learn your lessons from each of those speeches. It doesn't happen in front of everyone. It's what you invest after or between the events. Hmm. Sierpinski triangle, which is triangles within triangles. and actually really, really interesting. Take 3 points in the plane to form a triangle. Randomly select one point inside the triangle and consider that your current position. Randomly select any one of the three vertices points. Move half the distance from your current position to the selected vertex. Plot the current position. Repeat from step 3. The y. So so step 1 is take 3 points, form the triangle. Step 2 is select a point, and then from step 3, which you keep repeating, is randomly select any one of the three vertices. So you can do it out, and it ends up looking like that, which I think is quite an interesting whole mathematical kind of, in a sense, you're it's the whole, you start wherever you start in life, you can build and develop and change the matrix of your mind and everything else that, although it seems random, it will develop and build into something. And I know it's not that. I'm putting my own analogy onto the sort of mathematical creation, but so the wise don't feel guilty for having unwelcome thoughts. They know they don't have to act on them. Again, very true. You don't, just because I worry about a number of things, but you know, learning that you don't act on them, or you don't want to act on them, or you don't have to act on them, is also, it's a bit like your phone rings. You don't have to answer it straight away. You can let it ring through. But it distresses me not to answer. So everyone's different.